we are flying blind. And that is the worst position you can be in when you're in the midst of a pandemic.
Darren Markland is an intensive care doctor at the Royal Alexandra Hospital, where their ICU is currently at capacity. He says as more people come into the ICU with COVID-19, more people are at risk of dying.
That leads to lesser quality of care. That leads to situations being unrecognized, and that leads to increased mortality.
Thousands of healthcare workers and hundreds of doctors signed this open letter, saying there's no more time to wait to be proactive. Looking around, you almost wouldn't be able to tell there's a pandemic in Calgary. That's why doctors are calling for restaurants, theaters, casinos, and churches to be shut down to control the spread of the virus.
The only thing we can do right now is get our contact tracing back, and that means 2 weeks of shutting it down abruptly so that we can turn the lights back on and reevaluate the data. The Premier is going to a press conference with data that's 2 weeks old.
The letter says the restrictions imposed Thursday do not go far enough. Markland agrees. He says these ones should follow 2 weeks of stronger measures to be successful.
They're incredibly inadequate. We're following a very dodgy playbook, which suggests we wait 2 weeks while we're in the middle of exponential growth and linear admissions to our hospital and intensive care unit.
The province previously said that if 50% of ICU beds allocated for COVID-19 patients are full, or there is a 5% rise per day over 2 weeks in hospitalizations, that would trigger further restrictions. Right now, 54 or 77% of its ICU beds allocated are in use. Markland says Alberta's response in the second and more harsh wave of COVID-19 says something about the culture here.
Fierce independence and skepticism comes at a cost, and that cost is civility. So if you're not going to listen to anybody but yourself, then you're not gonna form a cohesive community that follows the rules.
Alberta Premier Jason Kenney said these restrictions are the province's last-ditch effort before new, stricter ones arrive. That's not expected to happen until at least November 27th. In Calgary, Taylor Brott, City News.